Hi guys, Dave Maxwell here again. Today I wanted to show you how to create your own professional looking book cover with the tools that I use. So we're going to do one from scratch. We'll make it a sample romantic novel. Alright, so when your manuscript is done, let me get out of Scrivener, and you're ready to create your cover, I like to use GIMP. GIMP is a really good image editing software package. So that's what I use. Now, what I do when I create a new image for this purpose, I come into File, New, select inches, and I'll go with 14.607 by 10.417. Reason being, I publish through KDP on Amazon, Kindle Direct Publishing, and that's the format size they expect for your hardcover novel cover image. So I start with a canvas set to that size. And once you've created that, this is basically what you'll get. Now I've changed the view here so that we can see it to zooming to fit the image to the window so that you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so that's the first step. We have the proper sized canvas for the full cover of our book in GIMP on a new project. And now, next thing I do is I go to my Adobe Acrobat Pro DC and create a new file. I'll start with a new blank page, and then I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to add text. And from here I can just block out a text box and type in whatever I want. We'll make it my new story. My new story. There we go. And then you can select that and modify it with whatever format you want. For example, let's go to my coconut font, and we'll change it to something larger. You can go as big as you like. Make it a little bit bigger. You can bold it, italicize it, whatever you want to do. But and you can change the color. So once you've got it the way that you want it to be on your book, on your cover, then you just click off of the add text, click back on add text, and the screen will appear clean and clear on your title. At this point, you can just do a screenshot and paste it into Microsoft's Paint that comes with Windows. From there, you just crop out the actual text for your title and save it as a JPEG. And then you're good to go there. You follow the same exact process for your author name and your synopsis of the story that's going to go on the back cover. And then for your author name and your title, you also want to save another JPEG image, rotated 90 degrees for the spine. So you can shrink your page and line this up enough to take a screenshot. Do the same thing. Shift, print screen, paste it into Paint, cut out the image you're looking for with your text. Once you've saved all of the text imagery as JPEGs via Adobe Acrobat Pro DC or whatever you're using, and Paint, Microsoft Paint, then you're ready to get started. So the next thing that you want to do, you want to get your images that you're going to be using. So I like to use Pixabay.com, so let's go to Pixabay. And the reason that I use Pixabay is because it's free. There's a lot of images out there. They're royalty free, and they're free to use for commercial use. So I like it a lot. So we'll go out to Pixabay, and I said this was a romantic novel, so let's search for a romantic scene and see what comes up. And then we can just scroll through images until we find one we like. For example, I like this one for a book cover. And then you just download it. And if we go over here, you can see that it's The license agreement is that it's free for commercial use with no attribution required. So I like this image for our sample cover, a romantic novel. So I've already gone ahead and downloaded it and done the full process of creating this cover. I won't bore you with that part here. You can download them yourself. But let's go look for one more image. What I like to do is include a second image in addition to my background, just to give the book some flair. So we'll scroll down through images of lips, since this is a romantic novel. I don't like anything I'm seeing. Some of it's a little too risky adult content, but I do like this one. I think this one would look nice on a book cover, especially if I can include it across my entire page so that her face appears on the front cover and her hair continues onto the back cover. I think that would be really cool. So I have already downloaded this image, which again is free for commercial use, and I have that all set and ready to go. Now, you can use more than 2 images. I personally like to keep it simple with one background image for the whole cover and then one flare image to add a little spice. So you download your images. Once you've got that done, it's actually pretty easy from there in GIMP. So what we'll do, I already have the images here. For example, let's start with the background. For example, we can just drag and drop the background into GIMP onto our canvas. And then it will add a new layer. And as you can see, it doesn't fit the canvas when the image comes in. So what we need to do is we go to Layer, Scale Image, and I know my height is 14,707. One second. I know my height is 17,407 inches. So I'll change that to inches. 10,417, sorry. 10,417 for the height. So I'll go ahead and scale it. It should fill the screen. Now I have the proper size image with the proper background for my cover for my book. From there, we just add items in, and they will come out as layers. And it works exactly the same way. You go to all your saved images that you're going to use, like my flare image, my spine, cover, title, synopsis, all of those things, and you just drag and drop them in, and then use the move function in GIMP to place them where you want. Of course, when you drag them in, they won't be the same size, so each time you add an image, you have to go to the new layer and scale it to whatever size suits you. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one since I've already done all that, and we'll show you how I walked through the process. So let me turn on the background that I've loaded. Now we have that. So that was our first step. The next step is adding in the flare. So what I've done there, as you can see, from your screen in the video, you may barely be able to see it, but I've taken the girl's face with her flowing hair, and I've converted it into a transparency, which you can do through GIMP. Now, that's through Layer, Transparency, and then you're going to color it to alpha. When you color to alpha, or convert it to alpha for transparency, it's going to change the white areas. They work best. So as you saw with this image, let me pull it back up. It had black in the background. So I simply used a fill tool to change the black background to white so that this transparency for that layer of color to alpha would get rid of the background. And it, of course, left me with the girl and her hair. So now we have across the screen, whether you can see it well or not, there's the image of the girl. If I get rid of the background, you can actually see her there in a transparent version. So she actually covers the full length of the screen. Now, some of these black areas, I didn't take the time to use the eraser and really clean them up. But of course, it does have an eraser function in GIMP, and you can come around and clean all this up, make it look really sharp. So for the purposes of this one, I didn't go to that level. But there you can see. Now we have our background image and we have our flare image. From there, it's time to add in the title, which again, you just pull right in from the image you saved based on your Adobe Acrobat Pro DC creation. And then we can add in, all of this is drag and drop right into your screen, and then you resize it. So let's go ahead and add in the author on the spine, title on the spine, and then we'll add in where I drug in and resized the author for the cover. So now we have the title and the author on the cover. We have the title and the author name on the spine. And then we can add in the synopsis. So you can't see that right now probably on the video, but I'll show you a zoomed in copy of this in a second. So there's my intro to the synopsis, and then there's my actual synopsis. Again, you can change the text and the font into whatever color or size that you want to make it look good on your background. But for the purposes of this sample cover video, I tried to keep it as simple as possible. So it may not look great, but it's a pretty, in my opinion, it's a fairly professional looking cover that you can create in just a few minutes once you're used to using the software. So let's go ahead now and look at the final image and see if I can size it down for you to view. Give me one sec. Let's get this down to screen size. All right, we'll pull this in. It's not as big as I would like it, but you get the idea. So hang on, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you here. So anyway, you get the idea there. You got Broken Hearted by David Maxwell. You got the spine entries, and you've got the synopsis with a fairly professional looking cover that only takes a few minutes to create once you know how to use the software. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like and add a comment if you have any suggestions. I'm always happy to read them. And of course, as always, please follow the blog, and you'll of course get your free copy of Rebirth, my first novel. So thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time with the next video. Dave Maxwell out.